What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Pull Up with Miles and Owen, episode 43 today. And we have a very special guest. BX is in the building, the owner of the luxury sportswear brand Rare Breed BX. He has pieces worn by the illustrious R&B singer Her, Sam J, Nafisa Collier, and of course the icon Ellie the Elephant. And he's a Liberty season ticket holder, so fitting right in on our podcast here. Gabe Stark, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for pulling up with us. How's it going?
Thank you guys. Hi, Miles and Owen. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me. Things are great. Things are great. We just beat the Aces last night, and we're looking very hopeful heading into the playoffs. I think we got about 2 weeks left of the regular season and then the playoffs. So things looking good. I'm feeling good. Had a good weekend, and we beat the Aces. So it's a good way to start the week.
I'm going to abandon our script right away because I didn't even plan to start like this, but it's like I just want to call for 2 seconds. Like, how are you feeling about the Liberty? Because, I mean, we recorded an episode a couple weeks ago where we declared them the title favorites at this point,
Okay.
and things are feeling very, very up. Good news, a relief today that Benai Jelani avoided serious injury yesterday. That was
Yes.
a scary moment, or I guess on Sunday. This will come out later in the week. But how are you feeling about the Liberty? The vibes could not be better in the Barclays Center.
Oh yeah, no. Barclays is an amazing place to be every single game this season. And I think as we've gotten closer to the playoffs, the intensity has grown. I think especially when it's come to the Aces specifically, there's definitely been a chip on our shoulder that we've really been focused on and trying to get off said shoulder. But no, the vibes are high. Everybody's excited. I think we're excited going into the playoffs. I also want to make sure I watch what I say so that I do not jinx us heading into the playoffs. But we're feeling good. We're feeling good.
I will say that you should watch what you say, not just for that reason, but because last year I got clipped for the Aces video about nobody believes in us from going onto a TV show and doing a hit, where I'm pretty sure I said, I think the Aces are the favorite, but here's how the Liberty could win. And they cut out the front of that and they just put it back and they're like, nobody believes in us. So yeah, watch what you say there, just for, you never know who's listening, who's watching. Hopefully everybody.
Right.
I do know. I mean, you said that you're a season ticket holder. Is this your first year as a season ticket holder, or has it been for a while now?
Yeah, no, this is my first year as a season ticket holder, which fell at an amazing time for me personally. And yeah, no, this is my first year as a season ticket holder.
So, how long has the W been on your radar? How long have you been a fan of the W? And just, I guess, like, what are some of the things that initially drew you to the league?
Well, so my very first sporting event ever was a pro sporting event was the Liberty game in '97. And my second grade teacher took me to that game. And I remember that game vividly. It was at Madison Square Garden. We had great seats. And she got me popcorn. So it was a good day all around. There was Maddie at the time, R.I.P. Maddie. And it's always been the Liberty have always kind of been a part of my life as I've grown up. It's been great to see the team grow and the league grow. But I've been asked about what was it like at the beginning of when Liberty first started and what it's like now, and I see a lot of similarities. That those first couple seasons were really exciting runs. With Teaspoon and Crystal Robinson and Kim Hampton and Lobo, and we had a tough squad, and I think this year we've got the same. I think we've got a team that has a lot of heart, and in New York, that's really all that matters, right? Like I think when it comes to our sports teams, we just want our players to play hard, and we've got players out there like Kayla Thornton and Kennedy Burke and oh man, what's my girl's name? Feebitch. You got Feebitch out there, and they, coming off the bench and they playing hard, man. You got KT running in the tunnel. One of the games, she jumped over the cameraman one time. She's diving for balls. that's what it takes to be a championship team, and they're going out there and they're playing hard every night. And that's all we can ask for.
Oh, and do you remember what happened at the end of that game? Was it like a Caitlin triple double or something like that, where then it was a jump ball that KT grabbed and started celebrating? It was Caitlin had made some kind of ridiculous. Oh, it was an angel double double. That's what it was.
Yes, angel double double.
Angel Reese had gotten a double double, and the crowd starts cheering, and then KT rips it away from her and gets a jump ball and thinks the crowd is cheering for her, and she starts flexing and just. And that was the same game as her running up the tunnel after saving a ball. So, like, the energy that KT brings is just unparalleled.
That might have been the funniest moment of the entire season. The crowd just cheering for different things entirely at the same time. Everyone just reveling in the excitement. But also, this is the perfect podcast to come on to bring up Kayla Thornton and Kennedy Burke as the first two players you mentioned, because those are like our ultimate faves. And I literally asked like many players about that moment where she ran into the tunnel and then reemerged, and everyone to a T is like, no, KT is the heart and soul of this team.
Yeah, no, KT is, she's definitely the heart of the team. We still got to talk to her about her pizza selection. Papa John's. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure she said Papa John's. I'm all for Papa John's, but she's in New York now, so we gotta work on the pizza side. But outside of that, KT's doing great.
We're working on it. Trust me. Behind the scenes, we're working on it. We've got an episode about a month back where I interviewed three players or four players from the team and asked them specifically about that. And we've been in touch with people on the team behind the scenes. We're going to get them right, but probably not until after this playoff run. I think that pizza should not be on the diet right now, but it is something that needs rectifying. We're on it.
Agreed.
So we wanted to start by asking you, I say start now, and here we've just been topping it up for like 10 minutes, but about your creative journey, because I think one of the things that made us so excited to talk with you is, and Miles kind of said this to you before we started recording, is that we really get excited when, not just talking to players and coaches and members of the media, but people who have found their way to this space in such a unique and cool and creative way. Just tell us about your journey creatively in terms of design, in terms of fashion, when you got into it, and maybe like how that over the years kind of combined with your passion for sports.
Oh, absolutely. So, well, first of all, let me start by saying that I am the best jersey designer in the world. I am the owner of Rare Breed BX. We are a luxury sportswear brand where we specialize in fully stitched custom jerseys. Our tagline is, if you can dream it, we can seam it. So I always tell people, if we're not the place you come to when you want a lime green Yankee jersey. We're the place that you come to when you want a rainbow on the back, a chicken on the left side. You want your portrait on the right side. You want, so every piece that I put out is a piece that doesn't exist in the world. That's really where my mentality is with everything that I work on. But prior to all of this, prior to 2020, where we've been in our business for 4 years now, so we're in our fourth year of business. But prior to 2020, my background was in marketing. I was running a couple social media teams at different ad agencies over a couple years, and 2020 rolled around. Like a lot of people, I had a little more time on my hands, and I wanted to get my own marketing company back up and running. And my idea was just, I've always been in the mindset of, let's just go out and create it. Let's just go out and do it and see kind of how the world takes to it, and see where we land. And I've always had a team of great graphic designers. So I wanted to rebrand a team that hadn't really rebranded itself at the time. So of course, as a New Yorker, I wanted to rebrand the Knicks. So, and of course, this was pre-Kit. We talking 2020. So we, reimagined the court, made fake subway ads, reimagined the uniforms. And in that process, I was like, wait a minute. These uniforms came out pretty tough. I want to wear one of these. So I went down the rabbit hole to find the right materials and partners and figuring it all out. And we put out our first jersey November 2020. And we've been trucking along ever since. But about halfway through, so about 2 years in, stopped and looked around and realized that a lot of our customers have been women. And I was like, okay, cool. Like let's kind of really hone in on that. Let's really figure out how we can lock in on that and really cater to women sports fans. So both women that are sports fans, but also women sports fans, without making everything pink and glittery. So with that, we came up with there were two answers to that, right? So one, both fall under the line of Hersey, but one was cropped, right? So we added cropped versions of every sport. So you could get a cropped hockey, cropped baseball, cropped basketball, whatever you need. We got cropped versions of it. Then we also added our jersey dress, which is our official Hersey. And the jersey dress is something that I always felt growing up was kind of this mythical piece, right? Like we had only really seen two real examples of a jersey dress, and it was Maya in this Jay-Z video, and then at one NBA All-Star game where Mariah Carey wore like a Michael Jordan gown. So with that, I think what it also led me to see too is that we've had people who have we've had people who make jerseys try and turn those jerseys into dresses, and we have people who make dresses try to turn those dresses into jerseys. And I wanted to set out and figure out a way to create something that is 100% jersey but 100% dress, and we did that. So our jersey has been something that we've had since we started the company, and it's evolved over time and grown. We just added our first tail hole this past year, and so that was different, but yeah. So so that's kind of really what led us here. We've done a lot of cool things. We've had a lot of really great collaborations. You named some of the great people we worked with, but we did a collaboration with White Castle last year and did a baseball jersey with them. The work we've done with Liberty, which we'll speak about. We've done a couple other cool things, and there's some other cool things on the way. But yeah, no, we've done we've done a pretty wide range of things, everything from anniversaries to cancer remissions and sobriety anniversaries, and we've done wedding parties. We just have introduced our Furzy, which are our dog jerseys. So we're just starting to roll those out for the holiday season. We make jerseys for kids. So we've really tried to tackle all of the lanes that are groups, but might not necessarily be sports, right? If you and your coworkers are, y'all got a fantasy football league, y'all are a team. You know what I mean? Like it would be great to have a fantasy football league jersey, and we've done some of those for some people. So, we've done a lot of different things outside of sports, and it's been cool to kind of come full circle to really be working with some athletes now and some of these organizations, which has been cool.
You teed us up, so we got to follow up when you talked about the tail hole in a jersey. Working with Ellie the elephant, what is that like? What is that experience like, and what is Ellie like behind the scenes? Because I know that I imagine that there's got to be some kind of coordination that goes on, and then just
Right.
I guess from the point that you hand off the fit, and then you get to kind of see it executed. What was that experience like?
Oh man. Well, first of all, Ellie is a consummate professional. I've never seen Ellie not on her game. Ellie's always got it together from fittings. When we did fittings in January, January and February, Ellie was always on her game. She was dancing so we could see how, whether it was going to ride up, if it was going to ride up too much. We had to, make it a little longer, add a couple inches to the end, things like that. So no, Ellie's always on her game. I've never seen Ellie off her game. But it's been an amazing experience working with the Liberty organization as a whole. How the opportunity came about. It was I was able to connect with Chrisia Long, and she runs the entertainment for Barclays Center. And in speaking to her, I've had a lot of things going on at Barclays Center. I had a lot of ideas to do a lot of different things. And, I sent her over our decks and showed her all the things that, we had worked on. And she was like, actually, I've already got an idea. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, what do you think? And she was like, I want to do a jersey for Ellie. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm with it. Like, we can do it. So let's figure it out. And I always joke that Ellie is my first client with fur, and so that was a little different. Ellie does wear a size medium, so that made it a little bit easier. And of course, again, we had to make a couple alterations. We included the tail hole, which is actually the key to making sure that it stays in place. So the tail hole was very clutch and all of these things. And no, it's been a really cool ride and a fun journey through all of this, from having this idea in December to telling people all winter and January, February. I'm like, hey, we're doing something with the Liberty. I'm doing something with with Ellie, with their mascot. Everybody's like, yeah, women's basketball mascot, whatever, cool. Then May hit, and things change. Since then we've been in Vogue magazine. We've been on damn near every morning show you could think of in New York. GQ Sports. We were just in the New York Post. Yeah, so Ellie's done a lot for a dancing elephant. Ellie has done a lot this year. She's done amazing things, from All-Star Weekend to what she does on the court every night. And it's been amazing to actually see my work in action and to really see her in it, and how that's also helped her character. But prior to this year, she was wearing the basketball uniform. So the jersey really helped accentuate her figure, if you will. And I think that really helped, along with the rest of the team, and then helping add the personality to her and the social media side and all the content that they've done with her. They've, everything. I think what I've really learned through all of this is that when things are successful, it's really a perfect storm of a bunch of pieces coming together. And I couldn't have done this on my own, clearly, right? Ellie couldn't have done this without the jersey. We couldn't have done this without their social media team. The social media team couldn't have done it without the concept and the people behind the scenes. So it really is taking everybody, and it's been working, and it's been fun.
It's been so fun. It's honestly unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Miles and I have been covering games in Barclays Center for years. We've always loved Ellie. The level to which I have people hitting me up about Ellie in my life, anecdotally, the excitement around people coming to the game being like, yeah, I'm coming to see Ellie. Like, it's so cool that you're such a close part of that. And as you said, kind of fully forming this elephant into what she is. Like, it's actually like a fully executed idea, and it's been wonderful to see, because I think it feeds into, Don Staley was at the game against the Aces on Sunday and
Right.
tweeted afterwards that there's no environment like Barclays Center in the WNBA. It is the party of the WNBA. That's Don Staley saying that. And Ellie is such a massive part of that. And Miles and I have commented every single game this season about how not only how fun the Ellie boom has been, but also just in general, every crowd this year has been so good. And the arena has been so filled out, and I legitimately think, obviously, the players are the driving force behind that, but it's also just about a production and understanding that this is entertainment, and people really are connecting and loving the whole Ellie experience. So it's so cool to see what went into the behind the scenes of, in the winter months this year, before the
Right.
season, getting it to this point. I wanted to ask you about a kind of more broad question about the WNBA, because I think another really cool part of this season, and just the growth in general, has been the tunnel fits, and just the players being able to lean into their personalities through fashion.
Right.
So how I don't have a specific question here, I guess, other than I just love to hear a designer's thoughts about just how much potential there is for growth in the WNBA on the fashion side too, and just seeing what these players like to wear and how they like to express themselves through what they're wearing.
Yeah, no, it's been a really interesting, because there have always been fashionable women throughout the throughout the W's history, and I think now, again, it's kind of a perfect storm where you've got so many women that are fashionable and into fashion and really running with it. And then in turn, because of all the attention and the eyes that are on the game, you've got a lot of big fashion houses now turning these athletes and utilizing the athletes as models. And just even in the grand scheme of things, as a designer and a person that spends half his time making jerseys and dresses, you look at the athletes' physiques, and they're great physiques to work with. You know what I mean? So it makes our work look good. You know what I mean? So a lot of them could be models if they weren't playing ball. So I think it really is. It's really cool to see them utilizing the fashion to express themselves. It's also been cool to see the tunnel fits roll over from the NBA and the NFL and all the guy sports, and the women are killing it. I think they've blown everybody out of the water. So no, it's really been cool to see everybody getting creative. I think it's going to continue to grow and expand over time. This year the tunnel fits have been great. You've had players from all ends of the spectrum that have pulled out some great fits. So I'm really interested to see what the off season entails, and how many players start picking up stylists, and how many people are starting to plan out their fits and all those things for the next season. But it's great to see, especially, like I said, as a designer, it's been great to work with all these athletes. And even in working with those athletes, my mentality has always kind of been that, athletes wear a lot of jerseys, but how often do they get a chance to actually make their own? How often are they actually like, oh yeah, actually, you know what I would want to see on the jersey would be this, and this. And, we offer, that opportunity for them. So I'm really cool to see how it's really cool to see how their minds work, and seeing how we can also help bring those things to life with everybody's different tastes and styles, and also trying to shake it up with everything that we put out and every piece that we put people in. But yeah, it's been cool. It's been fun.
There's this like simultaneous, it's like a time capsule when you see some veterans that are in this league and you look back at their draft day photos back when all of these players were wearing suits or like formal business
Right,
attire,
right,
and now when they're really
right,
showing out. And it feels like a time capsule, but it also feels really empowering to see how some players now have grown comfortable as vets in the league and kind of found their identity. I think about Courtney Williams, who makes fun of her draft day shoot, and she said like, I was basically a completely different person at that time. Or you think about BG, or even if you look at like the Diana Taurasi's or the Candace Parkers and what they looked
right,
like on their draft day. So it
right,
feels like we're in the middle of this revolution now where player expression and player identity has just become another component of the sport, which is just such an awesome thing. Are there any players, whether you've worked with them or not, that have been inspiring to you, that you look at what they're doing with these tunnel fits and you're just like, I love that creativity. I love the passion or the thought that goes behind, it could be as simple as wearing a white tee to half a dozen games,
right,
or it could be something really involved, because some players are like they're going to prom every night. So there's a
right,
range for sure.
right. Right. I think one of the things that you just said that is really the key to all of that is the growth and comfortability, right? Whether your style is more feminine or more masculine, I think people have become comfortable in what it is they want to wear. And honestly, the athletes that always look the best are the athletes that look comfortable in what it is that they're wearing. You know what I mean? So if you aren't used to wearing heels, we can tell. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you aren't used to wearing skirts, we can tell. You know what I mean? So even if you want to, even if you want to wear a sweatsuit, there's a way to tailor the sweatsuit and make it look nice and still be you. So, I think the ladies that have really kind of stuck to their style and their taste have really shown out. One of the players that I definitely want to work with, who has been one of my favorites, and Philly, I want to say that first. Philly is like my second home. So I love Philly, and I think naturally I have an inclination for people from Philly. And Natasha Cloud is one of the people that I definitely want to work with for next season. But her style is really dope, and she puts together some dope fits. I don't even know if she has a stylist. That's how good she is. You know what I mean? Like, she looks like she can just pull something off the rack and she can put it together. She just got it. You know what I mean? So she's just like a natural, if you will, when it comes to that. But she's got great style. And another person that I wanna work with that's on my wish list. And this one might be a little bit obscure, but she puts together amazing fits, and I'm a huge fan, and I want to get a piece on her for next season. But Dorka from the Minnesota Lynx, Dorka be putting together some fits. So I'm kind of I gotta, Dorka, if you listening to this, I want to get you in something for next season. So hopefully we get Dorka and we get Cloud, but those are two off the top of my head. I'm like, they put together great outfits and they look very seamless. And even if they have people helping them, you can't even tell. So they're doing a great job with their wardrobes. If I could give out like one of the style awards to like a rookie of the year, like a up and coming kind of thing, like we could have like a style award. Of course, you automatically got the Angels and the Kaisers and all of them. Like we already know y'all all WNBA
not eligible. Not eligible.
Yeah. We already know. But you know what I mean? There've been a couple people who have really worn some dope pieces. Brianna Jones in Connecticut, another one. She throws on some dope fits. Brianna, if you listen to this next year, we gotta do something. But yeah, I think all right, those three. I got those are my three that I'm like, they're killing it. That are like sleepers that people might not really be watching. I'm sure Cloud, she's all WNBA fashion wise, but the other two, they're sleepers.
I think they're both.
I love
quiet.
that.
That's part of it, right? They're both kind of quieter players, so they might not get the same shine. But I've also loved in Connecticut seeing DB and AT wear those paired couple fits together too. But yeah, Dijonay gets a lot of the shine out there, but all these players are really showing out.
I mean, and also too, I'm forgetting about our own home team. I haven't done anything for any of our team yet. But Stewie's fits have been on point this year. Sabrina's looked great all year. Even when Sabrina show up in her Sabrina hoodie and her sweatpants, it looks good. And her sneakers with her Sabrina ones, they looking good. So our team looks good. JJ, she looks, she put her stuff on, and Jay Sherrod. Now Jay Sherrod, I think might be the sleeper on our team. Jay Sherrod she's got some style. So I'm gonna do something with Jay. We gonna figure it out.
I love that. I'm going to echo that, and I'm also going to echo Miles that Stewie is definitely most improved fits. I think like at the biggest leveling up. That's automatic. Well, with Dorka being in Minnesota, this was going to be my next question. This is can be a natural transition here. You have worked with Nafisa Collier. And Nafisa Collier, one of the best players in this league, maybe she could pass your information along to Dorka. But I love her because that jersey was so fantastic, and to everything you were saying about wanting to create something that doesn't exist. It was such a cool take on the Olympic jersey and the USA jersey before she headed over to Paris to play in the Olympics. How does something like that come about? Is this something where you come to her team with an idea? Is this something where she's like, okay, I want to do an Olympics inspired thing? Just tell us about what it was like to get to collab with like someone who's literally going to be top 2 or 3 in MVP voting.
Right.
And I just want to add, shout out to I just want to add real quick before you answer this, because this is primarily an audio medium, just to describe the jersey a little bit. But I might not do this justice, but it's a black jersey with what looks like a slash from a lynx across the chest, and it's got in red, and it's got USA fees jersey number on there, and then the same thing on the back, and it is just absolute fire. But being that a lot of the people are listening to this, I wanted to accurately describe what you're about to talk about. Sorry to cut you off.
Right. Right. I gotta Bob Ross this a little bit. So I think that no, it's been, first of all, shout out to Feet. The Feast has been great to work with. And huge shout out to her stylist, Miss Kimberly Stewart. It was great working with her. And this was it really, I think where we started, the conversation initially started around just the timing of things. It was like, okay, well, what games are left on the calendar before the All-Star break? And what's going to make the most splash, if you will, in the piece that we would make. And for me, the first thought was to capitalize on Nafisa's last home game before the Olympic break. And I wanted to do something that was a little bit different. And I wanted to do kind of a play on a half and half jersey, but I really wanted to play into the superhero nature of Nafisa. So it really stemmed from like a Clark Kent-esque concept, in the sense that Nafisa's, I believe they call them Rebel jerseys. So it's the Minnesota Lynx Rebel jersey. So it's the black one that also has it actually has stars and stripes, which to me, as a designer, was like a layup. So I'm like, okay, if I'm trying to figure out how to mix the Minnesota, a Minnesota jersey with the Team USA jersey, the one with the stars and stripes probably gives me the best, the best bet to do something with. So started out with working with the black Minnesota, Rebel jersey, and then wanted to, just like you said, Miles, and make it look like a Lynx had kind of scratched that jersey, revealing underneath Nafisa's USA jersey as she was about to leave to represent Team USA. So that was a really cool piece to work on. I really love how we were able to execute it and how it came out. I love that it was a part of a send off for an Olympian, which is like really cool. It's so cool to be able to work with athletes, period. But even with the athletes, there's still levels to it, right? So like you said, Nafisa is in the MVP talks, and then she's also an Olympian and during an Olympic year. So that was really, really, really special to work on, and really just trying to do something that was a little bit of a transition from one to the other. But yeah, no, it came out really cool, and I'm happy people liked it.
It's hard to think back to 3 or 4 years ago when all 12 W teams just had like a cookie cutter boilerplate jersey that everyone had the same exact cut and just a different colorway. And that was the only separation, a sponsor on the front, but there was no individuality. And now all the teams, like you said, this was the Rebel jersey. All of them have 3 separate jerseys that they're wearing. Do you have any favorites across the 12 teams, whether it's just a color that you don't often see in sports or just a design that you really enjoy?
I love the Minnesota Rebel one. That one was tough. Like that is just a really dope design. Whoever designed that one, great work. I think one of the concepts that was really, really cool was the Indiana Fever's Stranger Things inspired jersey. Like just the crossover between, pop culture and the WNBA was really, really dope to see. So I think that one is one that comes to mind like instantly. Yeah, and I think those two off the top of my head are two of my favorites. I mean, when the day comes when I design a Rebel jersey, I believe that will probably be my favorite of the Rebel jerseys to ever exist of all time. Probably my favorite jersey to ever exist ever of all time on the planet Earth. But until then, those are my favorite two.
Yeah, you said you wanted to work with a Liberty player. You can work with all of them at once by just designing the next Rebel jersey and check it all off.
Exactly, Miles. From your lips to God's ears, and hopefully I will be doing a Liberty Rebel jersey in the near future.
We need to make this happen. I don't know if we need to get Kathy Engelbert on the phone or who we need to talk to, but I'm very passionate about jerseys, and looking at all your work, like it's exactly what I would love to see in WNBA jerseys. And I feel like there's been a lot of now I'm going to do a classic Owen rant here about how the art has gotten so confused and everyone's trying to do too much and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And like the concept that you executed, for instance, with the fee jersey, it's just like, oh, that could not be more perfect for what the league is about. So yeah, we're gonna have to make this happen for the next round of Rebel jerseys.
Well, look, I'm all for it. Whatever you need from me, I will send your way to help this campaign. If we need to make buttons, and disseminate those as well in Union Square, maybe before a Liberty game out in front of Barclays. Which, whichever you guys, I'll leave the marketing side up to you guys. Whichever y'all think might be best in regards to disseminating the buttons, I'm all for. But from there, I mean, I think we've done a lot of other, like you said, we've done Ellie, but we've also done the jerseys for the Timeless Torches, which are in their rotation now, and they just wore them on the game before this last one, the game before the Aces. So I don't Seattle.
It was
I think it might have been Seattle. I think Seattle.
Yeah, West Indian night.
Yes, yep. yes, right. And they wore them on West Indian nights. So yeah, so I've been able to fit the torches, which has been really cool too. Their ages are their numbers on their jerseys, which is really, really dope. And yeah, so the Liberty Entertainment, I've got something on Ellie, we've got something on the torches. So now we need the actual players. We need the team now.
The only thing that's standing between my wife's fear of mortality and just like this devastation is the Timeless Torches, because she's counting down until she's old enough to join the Timeless Torches. So she is just excited to get older, just because then she could join the Torches. And whenever they do like an event around the city, she looks to see and she's like, oh no, there's an age minimum even to show up and stretch with them. So she's waiting to get to that point. She's anxious for it. Shout out to the Torches.
She's looking forward to it.
One of the best parts of all those games, and even obviously before Ellie, the Timeless Torches were with the squad, and it's just every time it's that quarter break, it's that second quarter break, they come out, they do their thing, and I'm impressed. I'm there goofily, like with my phone out every game, just taking videos of the Torches. So yeah, if you haven't gone to a Liberty game, the Ellie is not the only draw. A roster that starts 5 All-Stars is not the only draw. It's also the Timeless Torches. So appreciate everything you do to make them look good, although they do a pretty damn good job of that themselves.
Oh, they absolutely do. They do an amazing job. Shout out to Shirley. I believe she's number 89. I hope I'm not butchering that. Man. I think she might be. Shout out to Shirley. She's usually always out in the front. And all the torches that I've been able to connect with individually have been amazing. Hopefully, we'll get the little torches and the medium torches and all the torches in between, and maybe we'll get the torch patrol. Then we get I'm just slowly trying to corner the Liberty market, just one segment at a time.
Love that.
Oh, we love it. Well, Gabe, this has been an absolute joy. I feel like next time we said next time we're gonna have you back on. We're gonna record live from Nostra Nav or maybe from outside Barclays Center. But this has just been so fun. Where can people find you? Anything you want to plug? Like, where can people support your work?
Well, this is what I want to plug first. When we win the championship, I would like us to do this podcast again at the parade. We will do it live from the parade.
Boom, deal.
Now that's the first thing I want to plug. Now the second thing, you can of course go and find me at the home of Hersies, which would be rarebreedbx.com. You can find me on Instagram at El Guapo BX, ELGUAPO BX, because of course, the most handsome man in the world. And then you can also find me probably everywhere else. I'm in a lot of places. Rare Breed BX2 on Instagram. Make sure you follow that. And you'll probably see me in a couple tunnel walks and, in the next couple weeks. And, we'll be diversifying as the year goes on. And Fursies for the holiday season. We will have Christmas Fursies this holiday season. They will be customizable for your dog. So if you're thinking about a gift for your dog, your friend's dog, your family's dog, anybody's dog, your neighbor's dog, then come on over to us. We got Fursies. We already got Fursies up on the website. So make sure I head over there to rarebreedbx.com.
Incredible. Incredible. Thanks so much, Gabe. And we'll see you at the parade.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Yes.
See you at Barclays. Yeah, you know, I can't wait.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Talk
Take
soon.
care.
Bye.